Clearly
What's up,
not.
David?
David, what's going on?
Oh, hey, sorry, I didn't hear you there for a second. We are walking away from City Hall right now. People were just gathered in the square, and you can see they're all getting away. The conversation has been, it looks like law enforcement is surrounding us on all sides. That's what the chatter is, people are saying, and part of it is true, at least at one corner. We just saw at the Hennepin County Public Safety Building, there's National Guard there, and then right here in front of us, National Guard here. And we're waiting to see what happened, but this whole group just left this square, and it doesn't look like they're being chased at all. And I've had conversations with some of the leaders of this protest, the organizers who seem to be in charge, and they have been trying to figure out where can we go to safely protest. I guess they really don't want to run into a situation that Maxie's group of protesters is in, but you know, if the law enforcement is strategically trying to surround them, then I don't know if they'll really have a choice.
Well, David,
I think we have this turned around about.
Is this the same group is this the same group that you were with where the leadership gave out a phone number just in case if they were to get arrested, this is the number to call, or is this a separate group?
Yes. I've been with the same group the whole time, and they have been peacefully marching. There was actually a little point where there was some disagreement among what to do next. I was standing in those conversations. One person said, why don't we go back to the Stone Arch Bridge? And then that was quickly shot down because, well, if we're on a bridge, they can get us in from both sides. So we're kind of wandering, trying to find, well, not us, but the protesters are trying to find where the best place to be is away from law enforcement. There was one moment we actually kind of came past the southeast edge of US Bank Stadium, and we saw all the lights and law enforcement that Maxie was talking about at Steve and Bobby's. We caught that, and there was like a mini stampede of people running away, but that was short-lived, and they started walking again. And here we are, we're heading east now, coming up on 5th Ave, and I'm looking behind us. I don't see any officers. It's been the National Guard. We just saw two separate groups of them near City Hall, but other than that, it's been very, very quiet. It's not exactly what I expect, especially I'm listening in my ear to everything going on with Maxie. It's just so different with where we are.
Well, and you know what, David, will be interesting. I know your group. The last time we saw you, we'll listen in.
We've heard this all day. The honks of support from cars. That is one of the standard behaviors that is accompanying these protesters everywhere they go.
So you guys were sitting underneath the Viking ship in front of US Bank Stadium. It sounds like they had a discussion about where to go, not sure where to go. It'll be interesting to see if the police just let them go where they want to go, or if they wait until they take care of what they're doing at Bobby and Steve's, because I frankly don't think they have a lot of options considering the number of police officers in downtown Minneapolis and the governor's very, very firm, undeniable, clear as day order to say that a curfew is in effect from 8 p.m. until 6 a.m. So it'll be interesting to see how it ends.
Yeah,
but I think we can feel confident it'll end.
After we left under the Viking ship, which before definitely seemed like a destination, that's where we want to go. Since then, and it's been a half hour now or so, there hasn't really been a destination. It's just kind of wandering through the streets, trying to avoid law enforcement as much as possible. I'm not sure, I spoke to one of the organizers of the protest. He says he was right up on the freeway today. I think we have that interview. We talked to him about 5 minutes ago. If we're able to play that, I think he gives a very interesting perspective about everything that happened with that tanker truck. We don't have it yet, but we will come back to it when we get that turned around. For now, we're still just following the crowd and kind of seeing where they're going. We're turning south now on Portland.
Hey, David, this gentleman to your left has a jug of milk. Why don't you explain to our viewers who don't know why he's carrying a jug of milk?
Yeah, so we've seen tear gas at so many different locations throughout this city, and I talked to one man who got hit with it, and he described in detail what it's like. It goes in your eyes, in your mouth, in your lungs, and it makes it hard to breathe, and it burns, of course. And the milk, you'll see people pouring milk over themselves because the milk of magnesia, it it eases the burn in the eyes a little bit. He said that it doesn't make it go away completely, but it definitely makes it more mild. So we've seen lots of jugs of milk and people handing out milk everywhere we go. And also very interesting, we saw earlier, this I haven't seen yet, there was a girl carrying a leaf blower. And we had our suspicions as to what it was for, but when we asked her, she confirmed that, yeah, it's for the tear gas, to get it out of here. So that was, we thought that was a pretty novel thing to be carrying along, a giant leaf blower.
It doesn't look like your group has shrunk. It doesn't look like a lot of people have peeled off. It looks to be about the same size as when we saw you last at U.S. Bank.
Absolutely. It might even be growing if people, I don't know what happened with Maxie's group, but this is bigger than it was an hour ago.
Maxie's group is
no one seems to be
arrested.
peeling off.
Are you on Portland?
Yes, we're heading south on Portland. We're crossing over 7th Street right now.
Okay. Gosh, well, they're going to head right towards the police if they're heading south on Portland.
I feel like police are everywhere. I mean, they don't have
yeah, for people that don't want it, the police know exactly where they are. Between drones and cameras and intelligence. I was going to.
And that's why so many people think that they're being surrounded.
Yeah.
And they're trying to escape that surrounding if they can, but it will prove to be difficult.
It will, from what we've seen a little while ago. Thank you, David. We'll be back with you, but we're going to go over to Maxie right now. He might have more information, or what's going on, Maxie? What have you been able to find out?
Yeah, they're taking them away, and it's fairly interesting because they divided these vans into females and males. So they put all females in one van. Will, look out. There's a car coming right behind you, son. Look out. Yeah, you really got to be heads up because they're coming without lights sometimes. Let's get out of the way so that we're out of the way of traffic at least here. And you can see this is what would be part of their staging area where they're doing, and they're slowly bringing each one in. They're handcuffed.
Is that Bobby and Steve still right there? You just crossed over?
Yeah, I'm looking right at Bobby and Steve's. You can see the people. Some of these people have not been arrested that you see in front of us, but over to the left they are, and they're basically just getting in line. And we have not seen, again, we haven't seen any trace of altercation, verbal, physical, anything else. It's almost as if many of these people had succumbed to what they knew might be the end result, particularly when they surrounded them. And so far as you watch, it has been, in terms of demographics, at least of the first 25 that I saw, I believe 17 of them were females in the 20 to 25-year-old range, and that's why so they've got different buses for each female and male, and they just continue to book them, ask them questions, and to an extent converse with them, get IDs from them if they can, and it feels incredibly safe here right now. It feels like the protesters have accepted their fate, and the police officers and State Patrol are just carrying out the order.
Yeah, and Mike, I guess the next thing to wonder about is does this group that we're looking at in our split screen that's going down Portland Avenue South, which may be heading towards you, eventually you might see or hear them, do they face the same situation? Do they go peacefully? Do the police use the same tactics? But yeah, no, these people have made a choice, and they knew they made a choice, and they're willing to go to jail and be arrested for what they believe in, and they're exercising that right, and the governor's certainly exercising his right to say we can't have lawlessness. Not that this was, but the issue for the state government and city leadership was that there were so many people on the streets Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday that there was no way to discriminate between, hey, I'm a peaceful protester who believes in this, or I'm a passionate protester, and I'm a looter, and I'm a rioter, and I'm an arsonist.